Exciting win. First, I want to just talk about the crowd that showed out today. I thought it was tremendous from the students and the band and I mean just the community showing up for what has become a huge rivalry in this league. So that really kind of willed us, I think, to a big win. So proud of my team hanging in there through adversity, and there at the end we made it a little bit too close for comfort, but we'll learn from that part of it. But heck of a win, going into a bye weekend. We get to sit on this one for a week, so happy coach.
Happy players.
Normal practice.
You talked about this becoming kind of an emerging rivalry in this conference. Obviously, you guys lost this regular season matchup last year with Toledo, and then this was a rematch of that conference championship game from last year. So knowing that they kind of had that revenge mindset coming into this one, how did you guys kind of just adopt that opposite mentality, knowing you weren't going to let them get back?
Yeah, I was interested to see, like, if I could get a sense of that, the rivalry part of it. We've got all these new players. Like, I mean, I'm going to guess half of ours had to look up on Google Maps where Toledo was. So like we don't like the kind of the naive part of who we are is refreshing. Like, we just are like, okay, let's go play. And I'm like, shit, this is going to be like a rock fight, guys. And they're like, oh, okay, let's go play. And then they get in the middle of it and they're like, oh shit, it's a rock fight. Right? But then they figure that out and they're like, oh, okay, let's do that. I can't speak to Toledo. They had a few more players from last year that played in that championship game. I don't know, I just know this. It could be like the 5 of you all in a Ball State jersey and 5 yahoos from Toledo in a Toledo jersey, and it'd be a bloodbath. That's just the way it is, at least in women's basketball, right? And I think just, again, the utmost respect for their program, their fan base, like everything, right? They do it right. They've won a ton of games. In my 14 years, it seems like, they had a little down time where they weren't fighting with us for either the West Division or the championship, but it seems like somewhere along the line we're crossing paths with something to play for. This was early in the conference season, so I don't know that we're there, but it's just when Toledo and Ball State play. I'm going to guess they don't care for us. I can probably tell you we don't particularly care for them as well, but we respect them, right? And that's what makes for a great rivalry, a great matchup.
You've talked a little bit about like who you guys are as a team.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say was added tonight to your team's identity?
Well, we're going to be a little bit pissy because we got out rebounded. That hadn't happened to us a whole lot. And so we're going to learn from that a ton. But we won because we put the ball on the rim, and I think both these guys will shake their head when I talk about Tessa's impact to what we were doing, right? Nobody can really guard her. And so what teams are having to do and the amount of pressure we can put on them, and we're willing passers. We share the ball at a really, really high level, 20 assists tonight, right? And so that's tough to guard. That puts a lot of pressure on the defense. And now what you're seeing is some really good looks from the three-point line. I think all of that working together. So we're starting to figure out our offense a little bit, where our strengths are. I don't think this is who we are rebounding the ball, because we've been really, really good. So, we'll get that part of it figured out. And if we can make some strides in that turnover department, man, I think we got a chance to be pretty daggone good.
Yeah, it was a pretty back and forth game there. Whether you guys were up 2 the whole way or 10. What did you see out there every time Toledo kind of pushed back when you guys would make a run, where you guys would punch back and kind of stay in control?
A lot of times when teams make those kind of, pushbacks, it like pisses you off, because you're like, why'd that happen? I'm just so used to it when Toledo and Ball State play that it was like, okay, just coach the next play. Because it's just what it is. You know, like a kid that's shooting 10% from the three-point line is going to make a three at the end. That's just what happens, right? So I wasn't, none of it really took me out of where I think I needed to be. You know what I mean? Now, you know, the part of it as a player, it gets a lot tougher. You know, I mean, I'm not doing a whole lot out there, but, you know, but understanding when you're in that kind of a game, you can't, like, worry about that shot going in, because you got to go break the press, and you got to go execute offense, and you got to go play the next play in a game like this, right? And so the good thing with this is the more this group can get used to playing at the top of the league, the better we're going to get. And understanding what that level looks like and how it's got to be played. We're learning, literally, we're learning by the minute with that part of it. So that's all the good stuff with this. And really, you know, as all that was going on, I just wanted to beat Toledo. By one, by half a point, I didn't care. Whatever they were going to let me leave out of there with, I was going to take. And that's what this game is to both teams.
What kind of was the key defensively in holding Toledo to only 21% behind the arc?
I think we've been working hard on understanding other teams' personnel. You know, we at times, I think we try to play hard, but we don't always understand who it is we're closing out on, what her strengths are, how I can guard her effectively, all those kind of things. I think we did that well today. We understood, we played some numbers, and they played out pretty well. You know, they probably feel like they had a lot of open threes. But, you know, as any coach will tell you, there's a reason you're open, right? And so we were ready to adjust if they made us, but I thought our kids played really disciplined and worked really hard to keep that ball off the rim. And we wanted to win the points in the paint battle. That was a huge one at the top of the whiteboard, points in the paint. And our kids did a great job of taking care of that defensively and offensively.
Coach talked about the high assist numbers for you guys. Carson, I know that's mostly your game, but Bree had a season high 7 assists tonight. So what does it say about this team that everybody is willing to get involved as far as passing the ball, spreading the load around?
Just unselfish. It's hard to guard when you got so many threats out there, and Tessa's drawing so many people right now. It's kind of making it easier on us to get her the ball, and then she can kick it out. So.
I think we're starting to learn each other really well too. Like, we're all new. Me and Bree never played together before, but like we're starting to really connect more. I think that's part of it.
For the players, are you guys surprised that you guys are connecting this early on in conference play?
I'd say yes and no, just because I feel like our chemistry in the locker room is like outstanding compared to at least like what I'm coming from or what I've been in high school and things. So I'd say like yes, it's shocking, but at the same time it's not, because that's just how it is.
Yeah, for both players, you know, like Coach talked about at the end, Mike got a little too close for comfort. How big of a sigh of relief was it when Tessa was able to get that rebound? You guys were able to have the ball, timeout with 15 seconds to go.
I mean, it's a big play. She's relentless on the boards, so teams have to play against that. So it's every single time she's crashing, so it's hard to play against.
I think that made me feel good too, because I was the one that took the shot. And when someone gets the offensive rebound, like, you don't think about it as much, genuinely. So, yeah, thanks, Tess.
But and like we talk about and we work on pursuing those drives to the rim, right? So, you know, Carson going downhill, getting it on the rim, we talk about pursuing that because everybody's running to keep her from laying it up. So that's a great opportunity. So in that moment, to see Tessa execute, right? Yeah, it's a toughness play, it's a hustle play, it's a winning play, whatever you want to call it. To me, we executed, right? And at the end of the game, you got to execute to win, and we certainly did, and it just showed up in an offensive rebound. All good?
I was going to ask,
Okay.
I mean, how good does it feel just to start 4-0 in MAC play, especially being the defending MAC champions? I know this team is extremely different from the team that won the MAC championship, but still having that target on your back to start 4-0 in the conference, how does that feel?
I mean, he talked a little about the naive part. Like, not more than half of us don't even know what that feels like or like what we're going up against. So we're just going out, we're competing every day, and of course it feels good to win. So.
I didn't know we were 4-0.
Really?
Uh-uh.
Liar.
I'm not kidding.
Who did you think we lost to?
I don't really think about it.
One game at a time?
I saw our last practice. We lost in our last practice. On that, thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.